it's really interesting that you brought to attention the discussion of ulama not being at the abwab al-salatin, because that has been very interpreted in many ways, amongst which is the involvement of the likes of myself, even the Mufti himself.
Well, I didn't mean by that.
I mean, so that's when, but in the course of your duty as a religious leader, giving advice, even such as the example of people in the other state asking you whether to vote or not, that to me would be seen as more, not a religious advice totally. It is partly religious because it is
partly religious and partly political.
But it is also partly political in a sense. So I guess the other challenge is how then do we communicate. I guess you would have that challenge also, because for every decision that you make, there will be people who, in that sense, refute you, and some even vilify you for making those decisions. But at certain times and certain situations, ulama cannot but also provide guidance in terms of socio-religious political issues for the community, and negotiations would have to happen between even the different segments of society, including ulama for that matter. So I guess how then, in your view, especially in yourself playing that role in America.
So by the way, I was being generic here. Please don't take my generic advice and apply it to any particular situation. As I said, I'm first time coming to Singapore, and I'm not aware of your particular peculiarities of your culture and country. So please do not say, oh, he said this about us. No, I'm saying overall there are ahadith that are undeniable. It's in the canonical traditions, and we have in our great ulama of the past plenty on both sides. We have Abu Hanifa, who refused to the point of being beaten. And we have his student, Muhammad al-Shaybani, who was appointed as the Grand Mufti, right? Abu Yusuf. So there are plenty in the past for both camps to take solace and comfort in. And in the end of the day, I'm a pragmatist. I'm not a realist or utopist. I'm a realist. I'm not a utopic, idealist. In the end of the day, you will always have ulama who feel it is better for the ummah to gravitate towards political power. And you will always have ulama who feel tawarru'an wa tuqan, that is better for them to avoid power. And insha'Allah, fi kullin khair. And the ummah benefits from having neutral people on the outside and from having sincere people on the inside. Correct? So let's be a little bit more tolerant and understand fi kullin khair. As long as, insha'Allah, there's going to be people that want khair for the ummah. Now there are always going to be people on the outside who are on the outside because they couldn't get in. And so hasad and hiqt will start to play. And let's be honest here, and again I'm being generic, please don't cut and paste it. And there are going to be people on the inside who are inside because of fame and power, and not because of khair of the ummah. So let's be realistic, that in every civilization and society, you will find ulama on the inside that are good for the ummah. And you will also find on the inside that are bad. And on the outside you will find those that are good for the ummah. And also you will find those that are bad. So inherently being close or not is not inherently going to take you to Jannah or Jahannam. But what does the ahadith generally say? And it's not just about salatin, it's about money and fame and everything. These are tempting factors. Correct? So you expose yourself to temptation, well obviously more are going to fall when they're exposed to temptation. It's as simple as that. So again, I'm not aware of your peculiarities, but each one of you, my general advice to myself and all of you, if you really have ikhlas with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you feel your position is bringing about more benefit for the ummah, wherever you are, then stick with it. And the minute you realize that your position is compromising your deen, and you are potentially exposing yourself to a mas'uliyah that you have to answer Imam Allah Azza wa Jal, and you're not comfortable with that mas'uliyah, then change wherever you are. Because in the end of the day, you have to answer for yourself. And that's a decision each one of you has to make. So there is no one answer that fits all. It goes back to who you are. It goes back to your position of power as well. How powerful are you? And how much good can you bring about? I was in a country, I'm not going to mention names recently, I was in a Muslim country, which one of my Medina friends from Medina, he became the minister over there. The minister. And I had a frank conversation with him. It's like, I mean, alhamdulillah, because we knew each other from Medina, I could be very frank with him. I said, Ya akhi, you're involved with this government, it's well known, it's done kada wa kada wa kada wa kada. This is a Muslim country, right? And you know, he told me something very honest. He goes, you know, I've been the minister for 4 or 5 years. These are the goods that I've done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? In order to do these, I have to bear with what you have just said. And I was sad. He goes, you know, you're right actually. I didn't look at it from your perspective. He's caused this, whatever he's able to do, you know. He has public lectures on TV, how to pray, how to read Quran. They never had this before. That people are being taught tafsir of Fatiha in their language. Very amazing changes on public TV. Not on some channel, Islamic, the public television station. And so many khair. So he has made a personal decision that my being the minister, I have caused more positive and have had to bite the bullet on these negatives. And in his conscience, he's doing so that's my main concern, that in his conscience, as long as he's happy and he realizes or he thinks, I've done more good, okay, alhamdulillah. As long as he realizes that he's got to compromise on these other issues. Everyone amongst you has these masalih and mafasid you have to weigh in your life. And you know, the higher up you go, the bigger the mafasid, but the bigger the masalih as well. So those of you that are, wherever you are, your job is to give frank nasiha to your people who will listen to you. Those that you have a good friendship with. And make sure that their niyyah is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as long as it is for Allah and they feel that they're doing better, then insha'Allah fi kullin khair. The problem comes when the niyyah is not for Allah. Then it doesn't matter whether you're on the inside or on the outside. Then la hawla quwwata billah. You're going to cause problems in your deen and your dunya. Inshallah.